Midtown. I think it was on 42nd Street. And it was a huge apartment. At any given time, there could be 3 girls or there could be 20 girls. We were all about the same age, and we were in the city by ourselves, you know, some of us for the first time.
I don't know if you remember when the birthday book came out, and there was an image of Jeffrey Epstein that somebody had drawn where he has 3 girls. He's on a lounge chair when I was doing that trial massage. He abruptly got up and his whole personality changed, and he said, "You're doing it wrong." And he said, you're gonna have to take off your dress. You're gonna have to let me show you how to do it. That's how you learn massage. You're gonna have to let me show you on your body. That I really just shut down.
So Justin goes, "Fine, I'll meet you there." So they go there. They're running a little bit early. They go show up early, and they get on their plane, and Justin Bieber is there sucking a black man's.
There's some night that you did something that in the morning you woke up and I can't do that anymore. Now I got to turn my life around.
Right.
There was that night.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
A young Justin Bieber, visibly uneasy, shifts in his chair and shoots pleading glances over to his mom to intervene. After being asked by a female radio host to give her the S talk, I feel uncomfortable right now, he replied. Why do you want to know the talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird. Yes, it is pretty weird. But shockingly, this wasn't the only inappropriate interaction the boy was subjected to at this time. In fact, this grim line of questioning punctuated most of his early career. For years, Justin Bieber has been the internet's punchline, labeled as crazy, problematic, and sometimes out of control. But did we ever sit and think that this right here was a teenager clearly showing signs of discomfort? Because long before the headlines, the breakdowns, and the conspiracy theories, Justin Bieber was just a kid growing up in an industry that exposed him to things no teenager should have been around. A young boy who went from posting covers on YouTube to being surrounded by celebrities, executives, and parties before he was even old enough to process what was happening. Before Justin Bieber became the Justin that we all know, he grew up in a very ordinary and often unstable environment. Born in Stratford, Ontario, Justin was primarily raised by his mother, Patty Mallett. Justin's parents separated when he was still a baby, so he was raised by a young woman who struggled financially for years, often working low-paying jobs just to support them.
In Justin's case, like a lot of these child stars, they come from an already broken family. So before he was famous, Justin was already fractured. Justin was born to a single teenage mom. She herself has talked about being a survivor of sexual abuse and physical abuse, struggling with her own substance abuse issues. This woman had a lot of adversity. Their family case is incredible, if not a miracle. But just because Justin became this big star does not mean he was not unaffected. And this is important because it has led him to his attachment style that he has, which if people were smarter, they would see his disorganized attachment and his addiction at the center of this toxic love triangle instead of focusing on, oh, Haley stalked Justin and Selena and Justin liked Selena's photo and all of that shit. Because not only was Justin raised by a single teenage mother, he was also abandoned by his father, who only reappeared when Justin started becoming famous. So imagine what that also does to you. You are worthless unless you perform.
And he'll do it in this album that he has coming. But I think, Justin didn't grow up with the easiest background before I met him. He'd gone through a lot at a very young age. And I also think that when you turn 18 and you come into that kind of money, we all go through stuff at 18 and 19 naturally. And then, for him to have that kind of access that young.
Despite all of his childhood issues, the teenager from a broken home, raised by a struggling single mother, suddenly became the most famous kid on the planet overnight, and it came with a lot of consequences. As the young Bieber tried navigating and fitting in with the industry, he was often bombarded with the most bizarre questions. While appearing on the chat show The Talk, Bieber was asked, would you rather be naked on stage during one full song or drink a cup of blended worms? When he was barely 18, Katy Perry, then 27 years old, was filmed grabbing his bum at the Capitol Summertime Ball. And that same year, at the 2012 American Music Awards, then 39-year-old Jenny McCarthy held on to Bieber while he was collecting his award on stage. She started kissing his neck as he squirmed to get away from her. Wow, I feel violated right now, he said. But the problem is, it never ended there.
I have a couple, just a couple.
Well, tell me that's the last one.
It might be.
No, it is. You don't, I mean, honestly.
David decided to treat Justin like his son's troubled friend looking for guidance, even though it was never asked for. Funny thing is, Justin ended up doing exactly what David told him not to do. But Letterman took it too far when he put his hands on Justin.
You know, I got believe.
Get that off of there.
Hey.
Although this one wasn't explicit in nature, it was still totally uncalled for. David would later apologize for his behavior, but it's odd to see how many people were so willing to put their hands on the boy. Luckily, he was able to prevent Leah Remini from getting her hands on him during this interview on The Talk. Justin had to shout no 5 times before she would stop, but that's not all. Earlier in this segment, she was forcing him to answer a really strange would you rather question.
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer Justin Bieber.
For no reason at all, Leah insisted on pushing this very sexual question while there are little girls and boys directly behind her in the audience. Justin realized he was trapped because no matter what he tried to say, she was trying to force the answer she wanted out of him, but he stood his ground and chose to not give in to her manipulation. This wasn't the first time Justin stood his ground when a host got sexual with him. While doing a radio show called Mojo in the Morning, the host, Shannon Murphy, brought the conversation in a strange direction.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like, I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me the sex talk?
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird.
He very clearly stated that he was uncomfortable when the host brought up sex, but the circumstances that built up to this are a bit confusing because earlier in the conversation, this happened.
Justin, what are you going to be doing after the show tonight?
I thought I was picking you up.
Now, when I was 15 years old, I probably would have said some dumb stuff like that to an older girl, but apparently Justin couldn't keep his hands to himself.
That little kid is like a walking set of hormones. He is.
Wow, got a little too touchy-feely with you?
He wasn't just like patting my butt, he was grabbing my butt and he kept saying, is it inappropriate? Is this inappropriate?
Oh my God.
And he grab it harder and go, is it inappropriate now? Is it inappropriate now? Hi. Oh my gosh, he's kissing me. Here, come sit here. Come sit with me right here. Dude, Justin Bieber just like comes up and you just started making out with me, you know that?
Is that not appropriate?
Justin was obviously flirting with Shannon in a juvenile way. Then she said live on air how Justin was touching and kissing her. We can imagine there were definitely some instances where Justin felt like he could probably touch whoever and whatever he wanted, since, well, it was often done to him. But regardless, the 26-year-old shouldn't have brought up the sex conversation on the air. Even men were infatuated with young Bieber. Reid, music executive who signed Justin to his first major record deal, said, "This kid was beautiful, like a woman can be beautiful, and men rarely are, and he turned it on as soon as he stepped into the room."
At Beyonce and Jay-Z's pre-Grammy party, Justin got in Usher's face, and now the real story is blowing up. People say Justin's still furious because back when he was only 14, Usher straight up gifted him to Reid like some kind of prize. LA himself bragged about it in his own book, calling the kid beautiful like a woman, saying his hair was a superpower, and that he signed him on the spot. But here's the juiciest part. LA then shipped 15-year-old Justin off for 48 hours alone with Diddy, who bragged on camera they were going full buck crazy. That's the same wild, toughen up treatment Usher got as a teen, where he walked in on stuff he didn't even understand. No wonder Justin unfollowed Usher and finally confronted him. So if you haven't heard...
While most kids were figuring out school, friendships, and who they wanted to become, Justin was surrounded by fame, executives, celebrities, and adults making decisions for him. One of the people who was important and played a crucial role in Justin's rise was Usher, who acted as a mentor and helped guide his career. But years later, people began looking at that mentorship differently after old interviews resurfaced about Usher's own childhood experiences with Sean Diddy Combs. It was only later that Usher revealed he was only 14 years old, when music executive Reid sent him to live with Diddy in New York to experience the music industry lifestyle. Reflecting on that time, Usher admitted he saw curious things happening around him that he didn't fully understand because he was still so young. Yet, he didn't stop Justin from going through the same circle.
Woo!
one thing the Diddy documentary on Netflix didn't touch on is that it was L.A. Reid who introduced Diddy to Clive Davis. Let's talk about it. So for those who might not know, L.A. Reid was a member of the group The Deal. He later broke away from that group with his bandmate Babyface, and the two of them together became a production powerhouse in the late 1980s. They then founded their own record label, LaFace Records, under Arista Records, headed by Clive Davis. As time went on, L.A. Reid began to focus more on the business side of the music industry, meaning the specifics of contracts, marketing, and artist development, and Babyface focused more on composing the music. This seemed to work up until 1993 when the two men fell out over Usher and Tevin Campbell. Usher auditioned for LaFace Records. L.A. Reid thought he was great and signed him to the label. But when Babyface saw Usher perform, he told L.A. he didn't think Usher was anything that special and that he would rather invest his time in Tevin Campbell. In 1993, things looked really promising for Tevin Campbell. He was signed to Quincy Jones' label, he had Prince writing and producing for him, and his first album was a hit. But L.A. and Babyface had said that they wanted the LaFace sound to stay with LaFace artists. So if Babyface went to work with Tevin, that would be a non-LaFace artist with the LaFace sound competing with a LaFace artist around the same age. So the two men remain in business, but Babyface pretty much says, listen, you go work with that Usher kid and I'm gonna go work with Tevin, and it becomes a competition between LA and Babyface. At first, it looks like Babyface is gonna win because he dropped two classics for Tevin, Can We Talk and I'm Ready. At that point, LA is trying to put together a sound for Usher, and Usher's first single, Call Me a Mac, is a disappointment. At that point, LA is looking for a new creative partner, and he sees that Sean Puffy Combs, as he was known back then, was fired. So he had never met Puffy, but he's like, hey, let's meet, let's talk. The two talk, and LA realizes, wait, you can't be my creative partner because you're more like me. So what LA decides to do is introduce Puffy to Clive Davis. Puffy and Clive Davis hit it off, and Clive signs Bad Boy to Arista. And from there, LA gets the idea to send Usher to live with Puffy, which Usher at one point called the most difficult time in his life.
So now he was in the hands of the one person he probably should have never met, Sean Diddy Combs. As people began looking at old videos, there's this one video nobody can really get over, where Justin spends 48 hours with the disgraced music mogul. Many fans tagged several of Bieber's resurfaced footage with the disgraced hip-hop mogul as disturbing, particularly in one where he said they can't really disclose where they were hanging out and what they were doing. I have been given custody of him. He's signed to Usher, and I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album, Diddy said in the clip. I don't have legal guardianship of him, Bieber, but for the next 48 hours he's with me and we're gonna go full crazy. Mind you, Justin was only 15 years old at the time, and this was not the only scenario. Other resurfaced moments added to that discomfort. One clip showed Diddy handing Justin a bottle during a birthday celebration, while adults around him cheer. Another reference came from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Khloe Kardashian casually mentioned attending one of Diddy's parties alongside Justin Bieber. When Diddy was finally caught for his actions and sent to trial, fans demanded an answer. And that's when Justin spoke out about Diddy for the first time. Although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve, a spokesperson for the singer said in a statement to TMZ. However, we cannot sit and ignore the trauma Diddy caused him.
So these videos of Diddy with Justin Bieber when he was only 15 years old are resurfacing, and the one thing that I want to ask is, why was a 40-year-old hanging around with a 15-year-old? Why did no one think that was an issue or a red flag? And also, listen to what he says in this clip.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
This is literally the definition of grooming, and Justin, who was only 15 here, he was new to the industry and definitely very impressionable.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything?
Yeah,
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah. Some water. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have. If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat.
You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you doing?
Every video like this that reemerges has people horrified. And to make matters worse, it was revealed in a new lawsuit that Diddy is facing allegations of abusing children as young as the age of 9 by promising to launch their careers in the entertainment industry. Apparently there's over 120 accusers, including 25 minors, and that leads to why so many people are looking more closely at Diddy's seemingly close relationship with a very young Justin Bieber.
People who have witnessed Justin at Diddy parties and at other weird situations came forward to share their experience, and boy, this is not good. International model Barbara Stoyanov, who has walked the runways of Paris, Milan, and New York, graced major magazine covers, and worked with top fashion brands, was one of them. Let's listen to a bit of her story.
You know, how horrific we felt the Justin Bieber story within the Diddy sphere was. This young man almost looked like he was given over by his parents, power of attorney, all of this. Touch a little bit about what you know about Bieber, if you don't mind, Barbara.
Okay, well, with Justin Bieber, I met Justin Bieber backstage at the Drake concert. I ended up backstage. My friends are in the music industry, so I said, "Hey guys, let's go get something to drink." So we go backstage. I get something to drink. My friends ended up on the other side of the backstage. I ended up by myself at the bar getting a drink, and then Drake goes, "Hey, it's prayer circle time." So this boy in a beanie grabbed my hand. He goes, "Hey, it's circle time." So I end up in prayer circle time with Drake, holding hands in a circle, and this guy grabs my hand next to me and says, "Okay, we're gonna pray now." So I pray, and we do the little circle. After we finish praying, I look over to my right, and it's this short little guy with the beanie, and he goes, "Oh, you want to go grab that drink?" I said, "Yeah." So we go grab the drink, and I finally figured out it's Justin Bieber. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So I grab a drink with him, and I said, "I'm here with my friends and I'm engaged. I'm not interested." And that was my story with him, how I met him. But I saw Justin out at nightclubs in New York. I saw him out in LA, but he was always with like a big group. Like a big group of like guys, girls. When I saw him, he was with Kelly Osbourne, and I think it was like Paris Hilton. It was like that kind of group. It was in Los Angeles. I had a friend that told me when he was in Canada after his show, they were planning to leave Canada to Los Angeles on a private jet, and it was taking off at 7 a.m. in the morning. So her nieces and nephews went to go see Justin Bieber perform the night before, and they got backstage, and Justin goes, "Hey, where are you from?" They go, "We're from LA." He goes, "Oh, are you going back?" And they go, "Yeah, you could just jump on our jet back tomorrow morning. We're leaving at, 6, 7 a.m. So Justin goes, "Fine, I'll meet you there." So they go there. They're running a little bit early. They go show up early, and they get on their plane, and Justin Bieber is there sucking a black man's cock.
Allegedly.
Following the whole childhood trauma and being connected to Epstein and Diddy, the young boy was then seen crashing out and having random tantrums as he grew up. In one viral clip, Justin snapped after photographers greeted him with "Good morning," responding by saying they only cared about money and not about people. Another incident that fueled concern was a strange Instagram live session in early 2025. Fans noticed Justin sitting silently, staring closely into the screen, barely speaking while music played in the background, and people really started getting concerned about his mental health. There were also years where Justin became known for impulsive online behavior, like posting cryptic captions, deleting Instagram accounts, ranting at fans, or randomly responding emotionally to criticism.
We saw when he was coming up some of these tantrums that he would throw, but we kind of just thought, he's a kid, it's no big deal. What we found out from people in his world that we've spoken to, he's still having those tantrums.
No, this is funny to you guys? Get out of here. Get out of here, yo. Get out of here.
In fact, there are people in his world, they call them now mantrums.
Go, get out of here. All you guys want is money. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Get out of here, bro. Okay. Get out of here, money.
We have talked to a lot of people now in Justin's world. They have opened up with us about money and other things. And you ask about mental health, and I swear to God, I was on a conference call with some of them. First thing is not talking about that. I mean, immediately, they're just shutting it down.
The only reason to do that is because there's something there, clearly.
Well, we've seen it.
Right.
Yeah. We've seen it during the Justice Tour when he was crying on stage.
He posted this long, almost essay. On how he felt unworthy. It is so common for celebrities to achieve success, and especially at a young age, that they're almost fooling people, that they are not as talented as the world thinks they are. They're not as deserving as the world thinks they are, and it messes them up in a big way.
Justin addressed this saying that he's human and that he has bad days too. Well, it is true that at the end of the day, people have no idea of what is really going on in his life.
I'm probably gonna have another one, but look at the consistency and look at how much I'm not doing that compared to how much I'm doing that. And we don't look at that side. We don't look at, man, he just did this same thing, the same show that he did that day, 50 days in a row before that day to get to one day where he had an overreacting moment. And I'm gonna have those days, and I want people to understand that you're gonna probably see some stuff and be like, man, that he's being a jerk. But I think we all have the right to sometimes be a jerk, and sometimes it's at the cost of somebody else. But I think that as long as you understand that, take ownership of when you're being a jerk and take ownership of when those things are happening, then people are only going to be like, yeah, he's human. Yeah. I remember the other day when I was walking across the street and something happened and I freaked out at this person, and they probably didn't deserve that I yelled at them, but I was having a bad day. And we all do that, but mine happens to be on a stage and not in the street there's no one watching.
Right.
Now, amidst all of these, Justin also fell prey to substances. But Justin Bieber has been unusually open about his past struggles with substance abuse. And looking back, many of the darkest moments of his career happened during that period. Around his late teens and early 20s, Justin was dealing with overwhelming fame, non-stop media pressure, emotional instability, and a lifestyle that spiraled out of control very quickly. I became resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry, he wrote. I became distant to everyone who loved me. I felt like I could never turn it around. The Canadian star, who has been candid about his mental health struggles, explained how the constant praise he received in his teens had distorted his perspective on life. I went from a 13-year-old boy from a small town to being praised left and right by the world, with millions saying how much they loved me and how great I was, he said. You hear these things enough as a young boy and you actually start believing it. However, one of the most alarming revelations came during his 2019 interview with Vogue, where Justin admitted his drug use became so serious that members of his security team would sometimes check his pulse at night to make sure he was still alive. He specifically spoke about abusing Xanax as a way to escape feelings of shame, anxiety, and emotional pain. During this era, the public mostly saw the external behavior without without understanding what was happening underneath. We all saw Justin getting arrested, fighting paparazzi, behaving recklessly online, and it started developing a reputation for him as a troubled celebrity. But years later, Justin himself explained that a huge part of that behavior came from the fact that he never properly developed emotionally before becoming world famous.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape from me.
Now to our GMA cover story, Justin Bieber revealing his serious struggles with drugs and making bad decisions, saying it's taken him years to bounce back. Now he's thanking the people who helped him recover, and Amy is back with more. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, Justin talks about his lightning-fast journey from being a small-town boy to living life in the spotlight and how he then made, quote, every bad decision you could have thought of.
What do you mean?
This morning, a candid Justin Bieber opening up about his past struggles with fame, drugs, and women. Bieber sharing overnight on Instagram that it's hard to get out of bed in the morning with the right attitude when you are overwhelmed with your life, your past, job, responsibilities, emotions, your family, finances, your relationships. When it feels like there's trouble after trouble after trouble, sometimes it can even get to the point where you don't even want to live anymore. The 25-year-old who skyrocketed to fame when he was just 13, saying, I went from a boy from a small town to being praised left and right by the world, with millions saying how much they loved me and how great I was. You hear these things and you actually start believing it. Everyone did everything for me, so I never learned the fundamentals of responsibility.
If I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go.
Bieber was 18 when his song Boyfriend hit the charts.
I got money in my hands that I really like to blow. Swipe.
He says at that age, he had no skills in the real world with millions of dollars and access to whatever I wanted. By 20, I made every bad decision you could have thought of and went from one of the most loved and adored people in the world to the most ridiculed.
He has walked off a stage in England. He was caught vandalizing a neighbor's house in California. Rebellion and growth and missteps and getting an arrests or encounters with the law. Most of us had the luxury of turning 19 or 20 privately and doing things stupidly privately. He didn't have that luxury.
Bieber writing, I started doing pretty heavy drugs at 19 and abused all of my relationships. I became resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry. I became distant to everyone who loved me. I felt like I could never turn it around.
He was a young guy. He had tremendous fame. He was pigeonholed as a goody two-shoes teen star. And then he grew up. And, I know a lot of 19-year-olds who misbehave. He happened to be Justin Bieber.
The superstar now saying he's in a better place, married to Hailey Baldwin, with years of what he calls terrible decisions and broken relationships behind him. And Justin adding at the end of that post, quote, when the odds are against you, keep fighting, and saying he is now learning patience, trust, commitment, humility, all the things he says it takes to be a good man.
Amidst all of this, Justin has given us multiple signs, especially through his song Yummy. He has addressed Pizzagate and a lot of the things he encountered at these freak-offs. On January 2nd, 2020, 2 days before the single dropped, Justin posted a photo of the word yummy written in pizza. Fans who were already suspicious saw that as calculated. Then came the series of photos Justin posted of random babies with the hashtag yummy. But that was not it. The music video was what raised the most questions. It opens with Justin walking through a kitchen and into an exclusive private party. And this isn't a normal party. The performers are children, and they move through the space in a way that some viewers describe as uncomfortable, almost like they're looking to someone for help. The guests watching them are older, wealthy, draped in jewelry and expensive clothing. Online, they've been called elites. And when we look at this video after the Epstein files, things start to make a lot of sense.
Why does the video end with Justin's younger child self? Why are the teasers? I'm not gonna say it. Why has Justin posted a dozen images of babies on his Instagram with the hashtag yummy?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry. People take for granted encounters.
Why is this party for rich, middle-class people a secret? Yet the performers are children.
You got that yummy,
Big conversation is set around
the Yummy music video that was released in 2020. Probably the most notable part of the promotion of the song Yummy was he posted on Instagram a collage of babies and just wrote #Yummy as a caption, which everybody has a strong response to 5 years ago. When the music video was first released, Justin's fans, primarily who believed there was a way deeper message in the video premise they thought was odd. It did not feel like an ode to his wife. And two, there were clips of Justin Bieber breaking down on the set of filming Yummy. He was allegedly having anxiety attacks during the filming of it. He stated that he was, quote, in his head a lot during the filming and was just having an off day. But this music video, there are very interesting elements and aspects. So there are a lot of, quote, Easter eggs to break down in the song, whether it's just creative expression that Justin Bieber had nothing to do with, or he was the one that worked on it. We will not know until he says so. But these are the elements. Right when he enters the party, to his right is a young girl wearing a red bodysuit. Netizens have said this feels very significant. Just keep in mind, this red bodysuit is going to come up again, but there is a young girl who appears to be a minor wearing a red sparkly bodysuit playing the violin. Justin sits down at a table, and netizens have pointed out that everyone nearby is much older than him. They appear middle-aged. The whole party atmosphere shifts when the food gets served, and it's all this unappetizing food. It's really gross-looking food. You know those weird Jell-O cakes with vegetables? Looks like Jell-O mounds with just peas, green peas inside. But everyone at the table is served this disgusting food, and the only thing sitting in front of Justin Bieber now is not the food, is just a glass of pink liquid. So now people are connecting the drugging that was done at parties, or the alleged drugging. There's a strong presence of green peas in the video. A lot of people think it could either mean P for pedophiles or P for P. Diddy. The music video then switches the lighting from the overhead lighting, if you will, to the black light. So it almost feels like the party is starting. And people think it looks like a white party because everything looked kind of white in black light. Then abruptly, the party is over and it's just Justin and a few people left to clean up the mess or deal with the after effects, is what some netizens say. He's alone at his table now. There is a red sparkly suit draped over the chair next to him, and that was the outfit the young girl in the beginning had likely been wearing. At the end, there is an empty plate. The plate has a picture of younger Justin on there with the word Yummy written underneath. It's a lot. I think that some netizens feel very frustrated because it feels like the victims who have actually, the alleged victims, that have actually filed lawsuits against Diddy. And these lawsuits, many of them are publicly available online.
So what do you think? Was Justin Bieber really just another troubled celebrity the internet mocked for years? Or was he a child star who got pulled into an industry far darker than most people realized? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.